you go to my player profile, right, it should be look, yeah, click on my name and it'll bring up my profile. It should say that I'm broadcasting. You should be able to join the stream probably from the PS, I think. Ugh. Exhaustion is like a way of life now. Yeah, I played this on PC for a little bit when I don't even think it was a stable release yet. And then again when it was the first expansion. We're about to get this console expansion next couple months. This is summer of 2019, so should be up to where I left off on the computer. You want my thing? It might not because of the privacy settings. If you if you gee, I don't even. Yeah. You know what? My activities are fucking hidden. If you go, you're on my profile. Like you're looking at my profile through the thing. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. The fuck, dude. Hold on. It shows nothing. Please hold. Hopefully nobody joins the stream expecting high quality shit. That's you're gonna do everything but that here. Activities. Friends only. Is it up now? You got it. Beast. Well, they probably just refreshed because I just changed it. It's not your fault. It's this thing. I got all my settings fucking set to anti-hacker mode, and I'm like, DMZ. Yeah, is that you? Oh, oh, we got a viewer. Oh, that is you. Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel that I never broadcast on anymore. Yeah, alright, so I'm gonna smoke a cigarette real quick, but this is like the overview. You know, you get zoom. This is if you zoom out all the way on the map. And I'm not all the red. There's another red empire right here. This is the small red empire. That's not me, but we're friends. We're friendly. This is me. This big ass. No, no. This is the first game I played on console. I wanted to start it up and kind of make sure everything that I thought was true, you know, but it's not. This is, like I said, this is an earlier update than what I'm used to, so the slavery system is a lot different, and there's no hive mind system, which is why I use a hive mind system usually for my main population. Um, so they kind of I'm like there's no hive mind, so they kind of everybody's kind of individuals, but and the slavery system isn't updated, so I'm kind of like forced to do some kind of ridiculous shit compared to how I usually run things. But this game's sick, man. If you like if you like RTSs or Civ and shit like that, it's uh it's a lot more intuitive and fun to play than either of those. I think I enjoyed Civ and I like shit like StarCraft and those types of games and Warhammer and shit. But it's like you know, there's varying degrees of difficulty, and it's not always like, or as a kid anyway, it wasn't always like apparent what to do. You know what I mean? Or you're like, you know, this thing should be beast, and then you go to kill somebody, and it's like they have like end game shit and Zerg Rush all over again type of fucking deal. This thing, it like keeps everybody kind of equally powered as long as like you got the mentality of being equally powered. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to take over the whole map. There's 3 different ways to win. Hold up, I'll show you a bunch of shit, but I'm like, I gotta smoke this fucking cigarette real quick. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, victories. Alright, 3 types of victory. Domination victory. You own 40% of all habitable planets. Actually, I've been making habitable planets, or I've been changing habitable planets. I'm terraforming shit, basically. I'm just terraforming that shit. Conquest. See, like war and federation is like if you can form federations. People have been forming federations, but the military party doesn't want me to join federations. Mm. 2 of my allies just formed one though, so I got an associate status with it, and that doesn't piss off my military faction, right? So, oh, whoops. Shoving my cigarette into flammable shit. There's these things. Factions. These factions have emerged because I have a caste system. I allow certain ideals to flourish while we enslave the other ones. So like all the egalitarians that believe in democracy and pacifists and xenophiles that like aliens and shit, we put them in the mines and make them slaves. So basically through like a system of repression, I've controlled the ideals of my factions, controlled the population's factions, created these factions basically by allowing them to not be slaves. I'll show you. I'll show you. Hold on. It's fucking hilarious. Like there's not even supposed to be. There's not supposed to be any slaves, but it's like I have to because I was running a hive mind before. There's no individuals, and they completely removed my ability to do that. All right, so this guy down here. Oh, you know what? I moved all the slaves off the homeworld because I needed fucking to do something. These guys are slaves. The little fuck next to them, the icon, the little what the fuck icon. Slaves. So this is a well, technically, like I'm just like an omnipresent ruler type of thing. Hmm. Like I'm the will of this fungal colony, basically, where you control. I don't know, man. You're like the heart of the nation, basically. You control like what happens, but like you don't directly. Normally, you don't directly control a lot of shit. I have a lot of direct control over shit because we're like a totalitarian regime, basically, and well, like I said, I got like we got slaves and there's like a caste system and there's no individual rights or anything. I control where people go, what they do, you know, blah blah, blah what goes on. But that's because I like to micromanage shit for maximum efficiency. And I'm running like a you make your own race. I'm running a fungal colony. And my whole like metagame backstory that I made up for these guys is that they were a fungus colony and they ended up taking over the whole planet with their spores, and then they wanted to like go to the stars and shit. So they skipped all the thousands of years of wars and trying to get people to work together like we're stuck in, and just went straight to spacefaring because they already like united the entire planet, you know, with absolutely no free will whatsoever. And I kind of used that to as a basis for the operation of this race that I made. You don't gotta be like that. You can do all kinds of other shit. It's pretty open. And like I said, like these factions. So if I embrace one of these factions, that's currently what I'm doing right now, because I need a lot of support. The purple shit up at the top is influence. So that's my government support. I need a lot of that to enact edicts and like do all kinds of crazy colonization shit. to get ahead of everybody else in production and stuff like that. I got all my planets set up to be like maximum efficiency. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, kinda. There's a lot less micromanagement than in The Sims, but at the same time, The Sims kind of removes a lot of the control of the character. But yeah, it's the same basis where you're monitoring the character, so you are the character, but like you don't like the character does its own shit. Like these people all do their own shit. They would do more of their own shit if I allowed them to, which is not what I want them to do at all. So they don't do that. They don't. No one does their own shit here. All the slaves are like they're just slaves. Like we enslave them based on their ideals because they're not conforming to the government. You know what I mean? It's like the whole thing's set up like that. And so when they do that, my race is repugnant, so nobody likes them, and then they're decadent, so they need slaves to be happy. So every time there's slaves, they get a 10% increase to happiness. Though they get negative when there's no slaves. So I have to have at least one slave on each planet. But it works out because then I get to control which factions emerge. So like these three factions, like one of them wasn't even around in the beginning. It happened to kind of I just like didn't enslave the materialists or whatever. So they made a technocratic uh, faction, and that actually is I was fulfilling so many of the goals that they already had the minute they popped up that I was like, yeah, embrace these, like bolster their shit, support, get a bunch of people in their faction. Now I got they're giving me fucking two. If you go on here, if you go on here, oh, oh,
to mute it, and then it just.
if you drop the party, yeah, the faction's down here. If you, well, no, then I won't be able to hear you. Fuck. Yeah, mute the stream. Just mute the stream. Turn the, fuck. Turn the shit so that my voice comes through the headset and the rest of it comes through the TV, and then turn your TV volume down. I think it's the only way to do it. Yeah. Normally we just do share play and you'd be able to just see it. For some reason, it's like being a cunt. Like everything else on this goddamn system. Hopefully I get these beta updates, man. I signed up for the beta updates. I'm almost done with the cigarette anyway. Maybe I'll show you more shit. More shit faster. I could never. Oh yeah, we were talking about the tea breaks, man. I just said I don't do that. This thing where it's like my philosophy is kind of Rastafari, where I like to maintain a certain level of THC in my bloodstream at all times. When I was in the hospital, they're like, "Yo, what do you smoke like an eighth a day?" I'm like, "Dude, you fucking serious? Like, I can't afford that shit. Nobody can afford that shit." I don't even. I'm glad now I smoke as much as I do, but I smoke so regularly that it's like maintain a certain THC level in my blood, and it's like beneficial, I think, in a lot of ways to my well-being. As opposed to most people are like, how could you fucking do that? It's cause I do that though, you know. Like if I took a tea break, I get just as stoned as everybody else, but since I don't, I'm kind of like just like I got like juices in me, you know, helping me out. I'm like Bane. I'm like Bane. That's how I look at it. You know, he's like, it would be extremely painful. Yeah, that's me, dude. I can't take off the mask. Nice. Generations. I watched the man do us all the night. All of the band from the fucking movies. He's cool too. He's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like the way the dude portrayed him. You know what I mean? Oh no. Hmm? It's all in the name. See, I was always like a villain guy, so I had the Batman comic where Batman was dead. They like found his body. Oh, he has the best villains. Yeah, I liked Batman. I liked Batman too because he's just this rich playboy. He's just got all this money. He's not really even a superhero. He's just got a lot of money. Techno. Yeah, the Punisher. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. They're always gonna win. Yeah, then he's at anti. Yeah, he's adamantium because he can regenerate from nothing, dude. Like once, dude, I loved Deadpool, but I didn't know that he couldn't die for the longest time, bro. Because I never read the comics. See, I knew that he could regenerate. I knew that he could regenerate. That wasn't my, that what didn't kill it for me. What killed it for me was when dude, there was this argument on Facebook in a meme whether Master Chief could beat Deadpool in a fight, and I'm like, and I grew up on Halo, bro. Yeah, he could though because Master Chief could imprison him because Master Chief can bend titanium, and also Deadpool's weapons aren't effective against Master Chief at all. At all, he would have to go get an entire new weapon set and everything. He can't. That, but yeah. Yeah, see, that's what everybody says, man. I'm a Deadpool fan, and I say that Deadpool would lose though because he could get trapped. Yeah, with items, yeah, right, but it's the same victory. It's the same victory though. People like everybody was like what it came down to, bro, was like everybody's like Deadpool can't die, and I didn't know at the time that he was cursed by Thanos or whatever. So I was like, he can't. Well, one that doesn't matter because like he could just get trapped. You know what I mean? You could just trap him. He could trap him. So he could trap him in a way that he couldn't cut him up. Master Chief has the whole USMC though. He could send him on a titanium pod that's like encased in more titanium, no doors, nothing. Can't cut yourself on anything. Like padded, and just send him into a sun. Yeah, I get it. But like he couldn't beat Master Chief because his weapons don't go even through his shield. He can't attack him fast enough to go through his shield. He can't do any damage to Master Chief. It would just be, and the other thing is they would just get along anyway, because one just like kills everything, the other one kills everything like chimichangas. You know what I mean? It's like they're both ugly. They're both ugly. They're both like genetically modified. They would get along well. And it was this stupid argument. I didn't know he was cursed by death. And when I figured that out, I was like, that's just fucking gay. Because then it's like you're literally only reading it for the fourth wall breaking and the funny shit. That's cool. Like I love his character, but dude, don't make them fucking immortal. Don't make your characters immortal. Don't. Right. That's true. That's true. The Hulk is sick. The Hulk is sick. I still think Master Chief as a character is a good fight for fucking anybody. Cause he's got all this shit. He's got all the Batman gadgets. He's got all the Superman upgrades. Yeah. No, that's what's cool about the Hulk. That's what I'm saying. It would still be a good fight though. It'd still be a good fight. Still be a good fight if Master Chief is just getting smashed. Just getting smashed. Nice. Somebody needs to smash Loki. Loki's not even. I couldn't even fucking read any of the Thor comics or anything because I'm like I love Norse mythology so much that it's like not even. It's not. I don't know, man. It's just when they fucking bro when they comic books mythology shit. It's like I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't. I have a hard time. I have a really hard time. My suspension of disbelief is like not there for a lot of things. So yeah, I don't like that though. I don't like that though. The guy, the fucking the fucking. That's cool. I like that. I like that shit. That's cool. The mythos that surrounds the kind of egregore of the character, where it's not like just set in stone, but more of like a archetypal type of thing. I enjoy that. I like the, but I'm saying Neil, bro. I'm saying, man. You read Sandman, right? You Sandman? You read Sandman yet? Yeah, yeah. Says that's the only immortal fucking character in like a comic book representation of like an esoteric principle type of thing that I like. You know what I mean? If it's like if they're gonna take like Norse mythology and make it into a comic book, I'm not into that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. True. Art style's big for me because I was like I grew up on anime and manga and shit. So it's like and that's like either really stylized or hyper realistic. See, because I was saying Loki's not even a god. Loki's not even a god. He's a frost giant. He's a frost giant. He's a frost giant. He's a frost giant, and he's fucking supposed to be trapped. He's supposed to be trapped until like Ragnarok, in the like crust. Yeah, getting poison dripped into his eyes by the Midgar. Jotun. Yeah. 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 That's what I'm saying. He has no place running around fucking harassing Avengers and shit. Oh, I get it. I get it. I get it, man. But there's this whole schism between American comics and like shit that's unfettered. You remember the history though? Did you look into this shit? Because I don't remember when it was happening. I think it was like really, real. I think it was like 50s, 60s, man. It was when Batman was all campy and shit. It was because they censored comics. It was because they censored comics, man. They censored comics heavily, heavily, heavily censored comics. Yeah, the patriotism type of thing, and all of that shit is so like blatantly not propagandist, but like it's like no, I get that's not what rubs me the wrong way though. I don't even care about that shit. Like I'm all for like a little bit of old school propaganda, but I think that's nostalgic to me. I like that shit. But the thing, it's just yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like that. I'm saying my problem with it is that a lot of it's like plastic, man. It's got like a veneer. It's not like you know what I mean? And a lot of that gets into the stories and shit, and gets into the way the characters are. And that's why I like Sandman because Sandman just does what Sandman does, or not. You know what I mean? You don't see, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's more my vein of shit. Mm-hmm. I get that. Oh, I get it. It's leaps and bounds better. Yeah, they've been doing a really good job at like unfucking things. But even the unfucking, bro. Because that's blatant too, almost in a way. Yeah, horrible dichotomies. Right. I don't know, man. It's like when you try too hard. It's like when you try too hard and people notice that you're trying too hard. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. You've been seeing that everywhere too. You know, every kind of media. It's this new groundbreaking, or they're trying to set new groundwork for future shit that's not as like shouldn't have to. Shouldn't have to. We should have never been following the bad plots, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like when you allow, it's just more. It has more to do with like a overwhelming societal thing. Right. Right. Well, yeah. That's the new movies. That's the new movies. That's because they fucking took those and made them into the new Batman movies, man. That's the Dark Knight Rises and all that shit. That follows the whole storyline of the Killing Joke and them. Yeah. Right, man. What I'm trying to say is the societal shit. Exactly, man. It's the society. That's what I'm saying, dude. And it's the same thing with everything else. It's media and society and all that. It's all conservative ideals versus liberal ideals. And I know a lot of people get fucked up when I say shit like that, and they think I mean American conservative and American liberals are actually like opposite of conservative and liberal ideals. It doesn't make any sense. Whatever. Fuck that. But conservative in the sense that they want to stick to this clearly fucked up plot line that's like propagandist and it's got a veneer, and then there's the people that are being liberal about it and they want to break away from that and kind of have a more liberal application of like new ideas. You know what I'm saying? That's logically what happens, man. Yeah, right. Because it's old news. Same reason we got different editions of D&D and shit, and the rules changed and all the. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, man. You find the sheet like in life and stick with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a throwback. It's not new. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nostalgia. Yeah, nostalgia, man. You gotta look at what came before against what's next. It's the whole dichotomy. It's like the Fibonacci sequence, man. It's like the people take what was left behind, take what's now, build off of that to what's next. And it's the same thing with all this other shit too. The storylines, people like, you gotta appreciate what came before and realize like the flaws in it, and also value those though when you're looking at this new shit that's like all detailed line work and assisted by computers and fucking a team of three people did this. Yeah, it's like you gotta go back to where it was like it was hand drawn by like a group of like 20 people and fucking they had to push a certain political ideal to even get this shit published. And appreciate that for what it's worth. But it's like I don't know. You gotta look at it with like a grain of salt, though. These people that are like you're saying, like these people that are like, oh fuck that shit, that's old school, and it's like it sucks because of the look of the line work, and you know what I mean? Like fuck that. You gotta look at what these people suffered through to get to where it's at now. You know what I mean? Right. Exactly. If it didn't suck in some ways too, there would be no improvements either. You know what I mean? It would just have been great from the beginning, and then we wouldn't have anything even better. Like. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Yeah, and I mean there is that old shit that is always gonna be better than the new shit, and that's why the new shit's good too. Is that one pinnacle of success in the mire of bullshit? That's the way I look at it anyway. You still on the stream? Oh yeah, check this. This is the fleet, dude. This is the fleet. I just shit out this huge fleet of ships. They actually this is my standing fleet right now. I just wanted it at full capacity because they drain your resources quite a bit. Ship maintenance 90. It was just at fucking like 100 and something, 111 because I had too many ships in I had too many plants colonized because I had a bug where I've this is fun now that I'm not smoking a cigarette. Um, I love showing people this shit. I want to show my dad. I was showing my mom the other day. She's all excited that I made this crazy alien race of fungus. Not the Beetlejuice. This thing, man. No, that's my new colony. Where's these guys? All right, my breeding facility. I enslaved. Well, I didn't enslave them. I uplifted them through genetic modifications. I made them happy, basically, and they were supposed to be really happy because they see this little guy with his arms raised. That means that they're uplifted. That's what I mean. Like I went in with genetic research, did a bunch of genetic research. I'm researching androids right now, which is dangerous, but I'm doing it anyway. Um, so we're gonna have sentient computers soon. And these guys, though, I came in, I genetically uplifted them. I edited their genes so that they'd be communal. It gives them a +5 to happiness because I wanted them to be happy slaves, right? And then I gave them my caste system, or caste system, rather, so that they, so the ones working in the farms and the mines are slaves. These basically, it's a breeding facility. I wanted to be able to shit out a bunch of these real quick to colonize other worlds as farmers. So you see up here, I got 5,000 food and plus 84. So I get 84 more food than I need every month, and that goes into my surplus, and that makes them our monthly food surplus increases the speed of all pop growth by 30%. Then I have a rare resource, Patharan dust, that gives me an extra 10%. So my food production is fucking nasty right now. And here we go down here. This is a new pop coming, and because I'm running an edict of information control, information quarantine, right? So my governing ethics attraction is plus 25%, so that means when I go in here, up here, most people are gonna be leaning towards authoritarian or materialist, right? And then a lot of people are going towards pacifist because of the long period of peace that we've been in, because nobody wants to fuck with us because we're like crazy fungoid assholes with like a crazy armada of ships that all shoot giant space nukes. Dude, I'm a fucking asshole, bro. I haven't had one war yet. They're so scared of me, bro. Like even the people that don't like me that I continually insult because they're weak and they've been drawn to federations and shit. Like they won't start a war with me. I'm like on their borders. I actually built a frontier outpost right in the middle of their shit because they tried to close me off early. Yeah, our governing ethics attraction modifier changes its attraction by 35%. So like the militarists though, because we're in a long period of peace, this is bad right now, right? So I got my militarist faction is up, but they're not really giving me any influence, and they're not really happy, and they don't have a lot of, well, they're happy, but they don't have a lot of pops though, because none of these new pops. When you get a new pop, that it's like a planet has excess food coming from that planet. It has room for a new pop, and it'll just start growing one, right? But the one it's growing, depending on these chance percentages, it'll be like, one of these things for life, basically. And these things live for like fucking, dude, like 200 years. I mean, I made this grimy ass fungoid race. Basically, the idea is that they get in and infect sentient creatures, and then they fucking like make them live forever, and like you have tendrils growing out of them and shit. So they're like repugnant. They love slaves. They like to enslave other races and shit. So I need militarists. So what I'm gonna do is, I got my whole thing set up as penal colonies, and well, kind of. So the home world continually shits out, um, people with the basic. They'll either be materialist or authoritarian when they come. And so then I teleport them to other planets to be the ruling caste in the power plants, because if you're in a power plant or something that's not a mine or a farm, then you're not a slave, right? So if I put them there, they'll join the faction, and basically I put every pop that comes out that's not a one of these factions into, because if I have more of them, they give me more of the influence, and I need the influence to expand. You know, I put them into fucking the mining shit, slave processing facilities. So I got a re-education center. I got This is a scientific utopia. So when this is running, it doesn't generate pops, right? I got no food surplus, but it gets energy and it gets mines because I got some slaves here so that they're happy, and I need the minerals anyway. But also look at all the science output on the bottom right side, 52, 24, 25. So all of it's fucking research facilities, and I got all my good pops that grow here. I set them up on here, and I set them up as power people here and here. And then I say, like, this is just massive slave shit. This is all mineral production. Plus 66 minerals, plus 48 energy, minus 2 food. The food's not a big deal because this is my farm over here. The aliens that I uplifted, and then I just uplifted these guys too. These are gonna be my army. I made them fucking, these guys are fun. They're earthbound, so they get a bonus to fucking all this shit. Where are they? The Galerians. Yeah, I just did this to them. I modified them. So they're happy. So they're gonna make a good slave race because anytime they live on my planets, they're plus 20 to happiness. These other guys were supposed to be too. I had to emergency like modify them. I fucking gave them rights because there was no need for them to have a caste system because they don't need to be slaves on their own planets. But something about the game coding fucked up and it made them all migrate, even though I have an enforced policy of no migration. They all started migrating to other fucking planets and other systems that I'm not under control of. So I was basically just giving away all my slaves for free for no reason because of a glitch. And I had to genetically modify them again to kind of reset them. So they're still uplifted, but they're not happy now, which sucks because all these slaves should be like super happy and producing way more food than usual. Like all these should be giving me like 8, 9 food. Don't matter though. I got 84 plus, you know. And then I send the rest of them to these guys. These are the ruling class and the power. You know, they've joined my faction. You see where it says factions? It's got a little thing. It says, if I go into details, it says they belong to the Institute of Technocratic Reform. So for some reason, even though these guys, I was trying to, they're not supposed to be allowed to interfere in politics, meaning they can't produce leaders anyway, I don't think, but they're not supposed to be able to join factions or even have a political sway at all, but they do anyway because of the early game coding. So I kind of got to set these guys. They end up shitting out more like idiots, basically. The idiots are these are xenophiles. They go in, like this planet's just like, where's the pop? It's growing pop. This planet's now growing good pops. This is a materialist. He's got like the gears under his ethics. You know, so he's growing, and I'm putting him on a power station so that this thing can support its own asshole. It's got +3 right now. It was at +1 or something, right? So I gotta upgrade all these. I just researched the better power. When these guys started migrating, my food started dropping all the way into the negatives, and I was just experimenting, trying to get more growth out of my populations with a higher surplus. And so I reduced my food capacity from 5,000 down to 200. And right when this happened, so I was down to barely any food supplies. These fuckers all like basically like metagame revolted. Didn't really revolt though. There was no revolt. They were just all migrating at once. So I was losing more populations than I was growing. And basically they were going to be extinct within like a couple years. And I managed to barely fucking unfuck this by wasting one of my gene points and making them quick to breed. So now they're happy, rapid, fucking. They're like rabbits, dude. They're like working rabbits. It's awesome, and I can send them to desert worlds because I can't live on desert. Where I can barely live on worlds that I can live on because my race is so fucked up. If I go in here, you can check out my actual race. I have 2 gene points for us. Decadent, happiness without slaves, -10%. Repugnant, everybody hates us for 25 fucking points. Habitability, we can't live fucking anywhere other than our homeworld, really. Leader lifespan, 75 years. Dude, my leader's like fucking almost 200 years old. Intelligent, I should have actually made them strong instead of intelligent. And then they like tropical worlds. I'm saving these up to make them very strong. Or something else. These guys are fucking nuts. It seems like it, man, but it starts. I'm like end game. Like, I mean, look at me, dude. You know, I'm the biggest fucking thing there is. By, you know, not much, but that's a lot. And in game, I mean, look at all this shit, dude. I've colonized like anything green has either a frontier station or all the ones that have my emblem, like Mublar and Talon. You know, all these ones, those are all colonized with the planet on them. I just cooked 4, let's see over here. I just cooked 4 planets for terraforming, or 2 of them are still going. Yeah, so I've terraformed these planets now into colonizable worlds for when I get my world capacity up over here. Which actually, that was another emergency thing I had to do. I was gonna try to migrate these guys to, where is it, Tempest, but I ended up just keeping it as a drone colony. This place is fully functioning off of drones. It's not very good, but actually it is now because I upgraded my power capacity. So the drones use power, though. Each one of these costs one of them a fucking +83 up here. So I put myself in the negatives with this, and then my shit was all migrating away. I wasn't getting any of these. I was getting like fucking still 300 of this shit. So I shut down the government. I pulled an America, dude. I pulled a Trump, actually. Check out my fucking leader, bro. This dude's fucking 164, and he wants to secure the borders. Right? And then I shut down the government for fucking, like, a year or so, dude. I put all my science... I shut down, like, the whole science colony. I shut down all the slave fucking manufacturing. I shut down everything except for fucking, all my orbital facilities, because they don't cost that much to run until I could unfuck this situation, because this fucking opening up Tempest ended up fucking going over my cap by one. I only had 6. I only had 7. No, I had 6, and I went over to 7. And so it made my fucking energy production negative 10%. And then, like I said, my guys were starving to death. And I also had all these trade agreements. I spy on people for food. I give them a bunch of food and shit, and I'm like, yo, let me get active sensor links. So they let me fucking spy on everything. That's how I've discovered the entire galaxy, and I can see these people's shit over here. Normally I wouldn't be able to see where they were at, but I gave them a bunch of minerals, and they let me spy on them now. So I give all my homies up in here my star charts that they know the whole layout of the universe that we're in, or whatever, the galaxy that we're in, and so they can get a kind of edge on these guys. And my fleet is now way better than everybody else's. We're technologically advanced beyond everybody else, and I mean, look at my fucking resources, dude. So this is where it's at, right? This is paused right now. You can pause and unpause the game. It's really fucking helpful. Like, all this shit looks wicked complicated, but it's, you start out with like nothing. You're like researching projects. You just like send out one of these science ships to go. You hire a scientist, put them on the ship, and send them out into the universe. Basically, it would be like I'd be like zoomed in this far, and everything would be black, and I would have none of this shit would be open. But this is overly complicated because it needs to be now. Because I need to. I don't even. Normally, when I was this far, I wouldn't even have everything discovered. I'd have so many fucking enemies, and like, I just happened to. I immediately closed my borders to anybody that I came into contact with, so that they couldn't get into my space and fucking build shit. Because you see these assholes down here, fucking immediately came out of here instead of building up this way or building over here. They kind of got stuck into doing this, but they fucking built all their shit up here, and then they went straight across and directly into my shit, cordoned me down by colonizing a planet over here and over here when I was gonna take all this and fucking be all the way up here by now. The thing with that is the diplomacy. This is the only complicated part of the game, really. Besides, everything else is kind of fucking. The factions kind of just come up as you don't enslave people. Um, it helps to. My government helps me keep shit under control. If I wasn't a government like this, it might be a little bit harder to do what I'm trying to do and have this maximum efficiency shit. But everybody builds these diplomatic fucking agreements, right? So, like, if I attack these guys, then these guys will get pissed and attack me too. You know, and I mean, it doesn't matter because both these guys are a small ass fucking nation that I was like just allied with, kind of, and these guys are nothing. Fleet power inferior, naval capacity inferior. Like, they'll never beat me in a fair fight. But like, these guys might be able to shit out enough ships to maybe turn it. Who knows? But then these guys also might have defensive pacts with these guys. You can check on their screen. This gets kind of complicated. I wish they'd simplify this, and I wish they'd like let us micromanage better with telling us where our shit's actually being spent in this thing. And these things don't even have a openable list, you know. But so if I go into like these are my worst enemies right now because they're the Amari Republic down here, the like the like bluish teal guys that I was just talking about. Or no, they're not. These guys, those are these guys. So these guys have trade deals with two of my allies, and somebody that I'm like loosely associated with. They're rivaling us and one of my allies and one of my enemies. They're rivaled by both my allies and me. Okay, this is important. They have a non-aggression pact. So this is like a fledgling alliance. They're just not going to kill each other. They don't see any point fighting these guys. House Bav, High Kingdom, those guys are decently powerful. Felnoli associated stars. Though I think they're like loosely affiliated with. They're not too bad. The Yelan Citizen League, this is important. Alright, these little fuckers down here, they're basically just explorers. They don't fuck with shit. And they have no expansionist um, ability or, like, apparently drive, or, like, they have nowhere to expand to now. Okay, especially if these people have closed borders to them. They could get choked out at any time. But for this entire game, I saw them next to these people, and I'm like, I fucking hate these cunts, right? So I'm like, I was like, I guaranteed their independence so that they couldn't fucking vassal them and hassle their shit. So I was like, guaranteed their independence. I fed them, I gave them materials, I gave them fucking energy credits. They never spent them on expansion like idiots. So now they're stuck in this tiny little. This is their entire kingdom. These pink motherfuckers, dude. I've tried to bolster them. I tried to like incite shit by like getting them to build shit on these guys' borders, because that would make them better allies to me, and also I could use them as like a little pissant to start a war with these guys. Because if they attack somebody that I'm guaranteeing the independence of, then that means they start a war with me, right? So that you can forge these fucking alliances and have these alliances forged against you. Like these guys started this federation. Now I don't want federations. I don't want a federation victory. I get scared of federations because that's more than one person I have to fight at once. And if one of them pisses me off because they're a cunt and they can hide behind their federation and build up my ass, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Because then I have to fight the entire federation, usually probably by myself, unless I've, fed and clothed a bunch of other people like these guys right here. These guys are my friends because they live way the fuck over here. They're decently strong. We share some ideals. They don't hate me. You know what I mean? We're both repugnant. It's like, whatever. We're best friends now. So they will help me in a fight. We have a defensive agreement that comes from having a non. Either they trust you from defending their independence, or they have a fucking, where is it? It's probably gone for these guys, yeah, because I have association. Yeah, defensive pact comes from the other one I told you about, non-aggression pact. So the non-aggression pact just means you don't fight. Defensive pact means you defend each other in the event of a fight, and I'm like associated with their federation. I'm not in their federation. This Axis shit, I'm not in their federation, but they're like associated with me, so like it's a little bit better than not being associated with them. You know what I mean? But I'm not like in it. You know, you know, because that would piss off my militarists. Now this is what I'm about to do. This is why I had to pause before I was showing you all this shit. I gotta. These guys, the Banner of Triumph. Now I'm about to be in a war. I can tell with the fucking Mario Republic, and these guys just pulled some stunts. They were pulling like a North Korea basically. They were doing a bunch of fleet maneuvers on my border right here. But then when I moved what is it? When I moved a 2,000 military power fleet right to Oreb, they were like, we were just kidding. And so, but I mean, I don't know. They might keep trying shit and eventually fucking piss me off, or I might get sick of these guys and want to expand to this whole cluster of fucking shit that I actually need to do. And so what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna take my pacifists, which I already started doing. I took one off. I'm gonna take my pacifists off of the penal work here and transfer them somewhere else. If they're the fucking, which I don't even think yeah, alright, pacifists. I'm gonna take my pacifists off, put them on like something else, another job, and then they'll eventually be happy enough immediately to join a faction, which I will then immediately suppress and then bring them back to the penal labor. They'll be stripped of their ability to join a faction, and their happiness will go way down, and the faction will get suppressed, and then nobody will ever be a pacifist for like the next whatever 100 years. The faction will be gone, and support for the military faction will be up again. And I'll be getting militarists instead of fucking pacifists again, which I need. I need more militarists, and then I can shift and support the militarists and get my government to shift from fanatic authoritarian to fanatic militarist and just regular authoritarian. So I'll keep my resettlement costs and slave unrest debuffs, but like to a lesser extent, probably halved, and this will be doubled. So my fire rate will be up to like 20-25%. my army damage will be up, and then these guys, dude, I was in the middle of showing you these guys. These fucking guys. These are my new armies, because they got Earthbound. They started with this, and they were pre-sentient, so they were basically just like angry koala-looking people. Not even people, they were like animals, right? And I came and I was like genetically modified. So they got plus 15 energy credits, plus 20 army damage. Their leaders are fucking idiots, and so that's good because I'm never gonna use them. And other species happiness is -5, which is good because they can't even live on my planets. So they're gonna go and open up my colonization to tundra worlds, which I already have one cooking for them. And there'll be like a self-sufficient population of fucking warrior koalas because now they're also very strong and they're happy that they live with me now. But they're very strong, right? So fucking 40% army damage and then an extra 20% army damage, so their armies do 60% more damage. So when I slap them on a shuttle and land them on somebody's fucking home world, dude, it's over now. You know what I mean? There's nothing they can do. And then now it belongs to them. And that's basically where I'm at, dude. This is fucking after 3 days of this shit. Uh, my colony used to literally, I got stuck in this shitty little asshole of the galaxy, bro. I used to just be Acheron, and my system used to be about this big. It was like these planets. And then, these faggots tried to fucking cut me off down here, but I built this little thing on the fucking black hole, thankfully, because it gives me antimatter, which speeds up my physics research and gives me a nice little fucking look at me, I'm an asshole, right in their shit. Border friction is good because it makes them mad at me, and maybe they'll just get pissed one day and start a war that they're gonna lose, so it won't be my fault. And then colonize these bitches over here and build these to piss these guys off. And I wanted some good resources up in here. It's like who can get to this first? Yeah, yeah. The Hospov Kingdom doing awful good for themselves. Are we friends with them? I don't think so. Nope. They really don't like us. Yo, word up. Yeah, man. Hit me up. Hit me up. Nah, I'll play some WZZ for sure. Especially if they just got an update. Some good eats, dude. Oh, just one. Just one. Oh, I mean, I don't know. We gotta do some very hard. If we can kick people, host our own sessions, man, we can fuck off with fucking like 2 computers, that won't kill us probably. Do some very hards, get extra XP, get extra fucking shits. Yeah, for sure, man. I was doing them on the fucking, I was doing them on the very, very hard shit, not the max difficulty, but the one below that, and I wasn't doing bad, man. It was just, there was times when the CPU was standing inside me and blocking my shots, and then anytime I got another player in there, it was fucking frag grenade hell, bro. Even with my medic gets the -50. If you get your gunslinger up, they get -25 to friendly fire from explosives or something. So you can get it down to almost no friendly fire anyway on the hardcore difficulty. That's why it's the higher levels have that shit. But you don't need that. I was like a level 25 medic doing the very hard shit by myself. It's just that when you have 4 CPUs, they'll stand in you. For sure, man. For sure. Be around. Not going anywhere. Later. Space America fungus. My next goal is to build a race that's as effective, but not a creepy fungus. Creepy slaving fungus. City is Lovecrafty and horror. Let's see how this goes. Good for her. God, I need to create pacifist faction. Good, good. Ha! Yeah, you know what? The buddies just did that to me. And then canceled it. Which was nice of them to cancel it, but also I probably would have killed them if they didn't. Yup, right on their border. Awesome. love it. I've been meaning to decide a war with these people. I need this fucking faction to pop. This is the problem. We need full populations, like moving people around. Why is he enslaved? Shouldn't be enslaved. Passive, you're not enslaved, then you enslave pacifists. Yes, yes. Good, good. Now I need you going on the mineral process. If I resettle you, fuck. Yes, that's. Yeah, Mel Sal is your best friend. Because it can't be run by what was a slave or a robot. How many is that? 3. What the fuck? Why is there an enslaved military? This is all wrong. I've been accidentally repressing the faction I need to not repress. Yes, yes, good, good. Alright, so we have spots open on the penal colony. Bunch of pacifist populations moved off of slave jobs. The idea is that this will pop a faction. Yeah, kinda like that. It worked. I might keep these guys around, man. Strategically oppress them. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for all this shit. Yup, welcome. Welcome. This is a very agreeable faction. Half the other factions that accidentally popped, like the egalitarians, like their Democratic Party always wants the most ridiculous shit. It's like directly opposing what my militarist faction wants, and I need that militarist faction for wartime capability. This pacifist faction's an awesome complement to that, though. I already have all these fulfilled. I was going to oppress these guys. I'm just gonna keep them, and I feel bad now. Because I was fucking myself by keeping them oppressed. Because this is good in times of peace, and then they can just dwindle in times of war like these guys have. With 3 fulfilled things, because I have them already. 3 fulfilled things. Wonderful. Good to have you aboard. And also, how many more of you are getting oppressed? Because we're gonna need more of you. Keep oppressing the egalitarians have proven themselves fucking useless. Just replace the robots working on the... So I did it on purpose, because the mineral cells you can run with either the robots or the more efficient populations. Excuse me. Yeah, he's being oppressed. I can't oppress this guy. Better if I had moved him before that population started growing. What's this? What's that? Being able to resettle is important if you're on this kind of asshole society. Where was he coming from? Fuck. Yeah, now he'll be happy. I don't think I have any more fucking egalitarians growing. What is authoritarian? Might just replace that with a robot. Xenophile, egalitarian. The xenophiles also developed some rather irrational ideals. Every time I've tried them twice. Although I'm gonna have to get them faction, so I can get a xenophobic faction off of them. Too much shit like egalitarian ideas. Everything is looking well. Let's say run a drone colony right here. Seems not intuitive at first, but eventually you get positive output off your energies. Although, in research.
Construction complete.
Finally.
Research complete.
Very cloud mining gardens. Statecraft. Being able to swap out your scientists is important. Don't often. But honestly, they gain more traits from exploring. Exploring's all done. Yeah, he researches faster, but if that's all he does, then I might as well just assist research full time. That guy had bonus statecraft, that'll make that go a lot faster. So many rocketry expertise, guys. These guys, like I'm saying, they develop more traits, obviously, on the ships. Like, look, you know, these are my 3 ship guys, and these are my 3 scientists that stay behind. They have 1 trait each. These guys have 2 or 3 each. They're just a straight up prosperity faction. I like that. Technologist faction, totalitarian, imperialist, yes. Alright, so I was thinking about this the wrong way. I was thinking about their governmental sway, like they're militarists, but they're actually imperialists, though. Which is why we swayed from a totalitarian dictatorship to a star empire. Which is all well and good by me, because I'd rather have a leader cooking than one getting elected. This game is like the government. A lot of sitting around in rooms smoking cigarettes and talking. Not a lot of actually doing much for anything. Oh, man, right back to it. See what's happening. I still get to observe these guys, huh? That's fun. It's fun. The other guys, I didn't get to build an observation deck for them. Can I now? I can't do nothing. It's weird. I wonder if that's why they glitched out. Happy job. Should have never enslaved the fucking pacifists, man. That was very counterintuitive. Welcome to your new job as a physicist. Who are you? Who are you? Why are all the wrong people fucking enslaved, bro? These were all egalitarians. A minute ago, I swear to God. You don't even need to be enslaved, dude. Gonna fuck up all my production. Goodbye to production. Dude, oh Jesus Christ, we're gonna get slaves now. He's cooking a fucking pacifist. Great. Dude, right on places that I need fucking slaves, bro. Oh god, if I had only known. I didn't know that their paint swayed like that fast, like that. That's kind of fucking ridiculous. Where have all the egalitarians? The egalitarians get smart the minute the pacifists weren't shit on. They were just like, oh no, we like peace too. We don't need civil liberties. We were just kidding. We just like peace. Please stop enslaving us. This is why I fucking hate slavery, bro. It's like if it was a hive mind, then this wouldn't even fucking matter. Ah, Jesus, fuck. This wasn't what I intended. But like, they weren't supposed to be a good population keep. Yeah, now I need fucking dude. Ridiculous. I can't believe that it swayed some of the egalitarians. It's funny. Completely unintended. Yeah, no, what was it? Just keeping the pacifists? Egalitarian. Xenophile, egalitarian. No, it is a scientific utopia, I guess. We like you now. You're allowed to live in relative comfort. This guy's gonna have to go somewhere. That's not where he is. What this? This was supposed to be a fucking penal colony. I gotta have a vat that's fucking good. A robot on it. Yeah, I do. This guy can get resettled too. How does fucking producing Skiselix. Sweet God. -5. He needs to go somewhere. What the fuck? Where am I gonna put him? Okay, yeah, no, he's just gonna go and burn down that front. So I should turn this into a fucking power plant. Cancel this. And the minute that guy pops.
Construction complete.
Pretend to be a miner. Here, fuck it. Another fucking xenophile. Oh, good job. Fucking idiots.
Construction complete.
I'll fucking tell you when construction's complete, buddy. Why did my food go down so much? Huh, they're mad now. Unprecedented scale, they said. Yeah, fuck off. My tire, the prattle. Nothing will stand in the fucking way of the might of the Schizolex, dude. Sorry. It just is what it is.
Special project complete.
I hope you learn much from crashing my fucking ships into each other like a dumbass, dude. The fuck? Pissing off our neighbors. Oh yeah, we get 10 years of fire rate 10 plus. Good. Wonderful. I'll get them. They see your ships, buddy. Oh, your science vessels on full by 20k fucking fleet. One of these fucking pissant Corvettes is not upgraded. It's pretty old.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Bunch of fucking hippies. I mean, at least we treat the hippies good here. Whatever. Fucking A.
Research complete.
Oh, scary. Scary research. Fires missiles. Behold the power of the Stellaris.
Construction complete.
The might of the Stellaris. It's a good looking fleet. Could do with a few more cruises.
Research complete.
ability to build rockets, which is also what you started with. I heard a nerd.
Incoming transmission.
See, one better. We're going one deeper. You eat my ass, I'll eat yours, buddy. Here you go. One of us will enjoy this more. Alright. They just automatically upgraded them all. Sweet Jesus, they have fucking ethics. Oh my god, they have ethics. They've developed a consciousness! Ah! Robot slaves. Look at them, they look evil with their red faces. They were supposed to be humanoid, I thought. Yeah, here we are. They wanna... They have happiness? Why do they have happiness, bro? Oh, ethics, restraints, homie. I don't know. That's not good. If I put them in a state of chemical bliss. They were right. This is dangerous technology. Fucking robots pissed at the slaves. They're like, well, we're a lot better at being slaves now, but we're kind of pissed off too. Political beliefs and shit. I hate you. But if I give them residency, they'll start fucking migrating away like the goddamn lizard people, even though I have the migration controls enabled. By the way, ever try migrating in a militaristic fucking authoritarian government? Lead salad. let the rabbits wear glasses. It's always an upgrade to be done.
Construction complete. Construction complete. Construction complete.
This pop still isn't cooked yet. Back to work. You don't fucking say every month, dude. I just left Roanoke all over again. Oh, but they didn't actually leave though. Weird.
Research complete.
Only 58 months.
Construction complete.
You don't spray. What fucking happened here? Things are full again. Imagine that. Makes perfect sense considering I haven't spent anything. We're now back after a special message from Depravity. We're hoping you're enjoying this absolutely nothingness. I know I am. This broadcast brought to you by suffering. Must be good for something, right? Anyway, if you're an asshole, eventually your planet should look like this. Maybe with one room of population to grow if you're colonizing. Or more. Less people, the better. Good for you.
Construction complete.
I should probably spend some of these fucking credits. Oh. 92. But why? Why is it over? Sweet jeez, look at all that production. The unrest is under 10 on every planet. It's not What? The schistolics are evolving. Cancelled at birth. Yeah, you. You. Yes, you. You've been selected for forestry population. Disappear over this planet over here. Wunderbar. Build more farms. With a natural lifespan of less than a decade. Wow, imagine that. You had to be 9. I'm 5. I'm 5. These things live to be like fucking 200. It's hilarious. Thought I already set that up. Just not paying attention to the right side of the screen. 5, 5, 5, 5. They're all synthetic. I feel like this is a bad idea as I do it. These guys are good. All they do is shit out the populations that I want. Wonderful, wonderful. They're just so happy. That's how the fucking reptile slaves should be, but they're not. Does not even experience the uplifted happiness. That's what you get for glitching out the game.